So I was able to make my dream destination my first ever destination, if you don't count the routes, without a US visa. Yes, good people like me get refused US visas. And a number of persons have asked how I was able to do it, and I decided why not do a tell-all. Now let's get into it. First things first, if you're Jamaican, you of course need a valid Jamaican passport that is valid longer than your intended travel period. Hopefully one that is in a much better condition than mine was in, after years of being oppressed from being my sole national ID. Next, you need a Schengen visa. What is that? I'm glad you asked. Now, a Schengen visa is a short stay visa allowing its holder to circulate in the Schengen area. The Schengen area covers 26 countries, also known as Schengen states, without border controls between them. And what that means is that European countries have officially abolished all passport and all other types of border control at their mutual borders. A few of these countries that are Schengen states include Germany, Austria, Belgium, Spain, France, Italy, Poland, Norway, Malta, Iceland, Latvia, etc. So this is slightly similar to Jamaica benefiting from being a member of CARICOM, and I stress slightly similar since you do need a passport to enter even into CARICOM states, and I'm going to bring this up later on again. Now, in order to attain your Schengen visa, you are required to apply to the embassy of the country you'll be staying the longest, considering you might be taking a bus or plane to other countries. And the requirements are many, but they're pretty simple to attain. These requirements include flight reservation, and you're not encouraged to book the flight. You can actually do a temporary booking on most airlines. You'll need hotel reservation, and what my husband did is that we booked some incredibly affordable Airbnbs. You'll need a job letter, bank statement showing your balance over the last 3 months, and your current balance should reflect enough to show that you can afford accommodation and transportation. Now, with regards to travel insurance, there are several companies that offer this specifically, and the insurance is priced according to your age, how far you're going, how long you intended to stay. Therefore, the further you go and the longer you stay means more. My husband and I paid $68 each, and at the time he was 29 and I was 24, still am. So since my husband and I intended to honeymoon in Spain for a longer period, we were required to apply to the embassy of Spain, and we spent on the visa all of 8,500 Jamaican dollars, which is about 65 to 70 US. Now, this is the equivalent of 5 items at the supermarket. I even know shoes that cost way more. So by now you're wondering if I gave an arm and leg for the airfare alone. We were gonna be gone during early to mid-December, you know, and that's Christmas, it's peak season, so I had to be scouring the internet from months before. I'm Mrs. Cheap, so I did my due diligence, I did a lot of research, and because at the time we thought we would be traveling through the United States, we were looking for flights leaving from Jamaica, connecting to the United States, and then straight to Barcelona. But at the time, those flights cost about at least 1,600 US dollars each, and I was getting married, so obviously I'm budget conscious during that time. Now it's approaching December, and at this point we've realized that we will not be traveling through the United States, and thankfully that was actually our saving grace, because we got creative and we thought, what if we traveled to Paris and then Barcelona, right? Because you'll be able to take a bus, which is very affordable, and then go to Barcelona on the bus. Since hindsight is 2020, if you intend to do this, please don't, because the flights are much cheaper and they're faster. We thought the bus was more affordable based on the time we were looking, and so we went with a bus which took like 14 hours of our lives and our honeymoon. Now, you remember I mentioned earlier Jamaica being a member of CARICOM. Panama is also a member of CARICOM, and you only need your Jamaican passport in order to go to Panama. And by God's grace, we were able to find a flight leaving Jamaica to Panama, and from Panama to Paris. And you're not going to believe what that cost us. Booking that flight ran us about $900 each. Can you imagine? You're going to Paris on cell phone money. Now, if you intend to country hop like we did, there are super affordable flights that take you practically anywhere within the Schengen area. And what Derek and I did is we went to Paris, France, and then we took a bus to Barcelona. And I repeat,
do not do that.
Book a flight instead. And from Barcelona, 6 days later, we went to Venice, Italy. And from Italy, we went back to Paris, France, where we remained for the remainder of our honeymoon. Now, we did a lot of research on our Airbnbs, and we actually came upon some exceptional hosts who gave us tips on where to see, where to eat, and I would encourage anyone to read your reviews on the host and take a good look at the place and take a good look at their policies, such as whether they allow you to use a washing machine and whether they'll be allowing you to cook. You have the added benefit of familiarizing yourself with the cities. We eventually become very acquainted with the local pharmacies, the supermarkets, and the likes. Now, if you don't mind speaking to strangers, all safety protocols considered, you get to engage in conversations like the one I had with a Brazilian man who doesn't consider his dog his pet but his child. You might be hesitant to stop and ask for directions. However, you're in a foreign country. Most of the time you might not speak the language or speak the language very fluently, so you're gonna have to speak with someone. The good thing is that many people in European countries speak English. It's almost like it's a requirement. I was amazed. They speak at least 3 languages. So you might have to end up digging deep into your extrovert purse. And while we're on directions, Google Maps is your best friend. I repeat,
Google Maps is your best friend.
And I pray that your travel buddy, if you have one, and I do recommend that you visit anywhere with a travel buddy, I pray that they're as excellent with directions as Derek was. So there you have it. I finally acquainted myself with countries other than my beautiful Jamaica, because don't get it twisted, Jamaica is the place to be. I just see the world as ours to explore, and Jamaica is simply my route. If you have questions or if you have tips that could possibly help someone out in the future, please comment below. Also, let me know if you'd like me to do a video on my experience in each of these countries, Spain, Italy, and France, considering this was my very first time going anywhere outside of my native country. So I was pretty much a blank canvas. Thanks for watching the Collette Collective. Please like, share, and subscribe.